is up, folks? Welcome back to Ever So Slight. Jorge Anito here. Thanks for coming over, and again, welcome back. My friends, today is the finale, episode 2 of the card Sleight mystery, the case of the bow to stern bottom control. If you missed the first episode, I would encourage you to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description, but if you'd rather not, I'll give a quick recap right now. I basically expressed my interest and enthusiasm with the bow to stern control, which is a top control. A card is controlled to the top. Most are familiar with Chris Ramsey's seamless control. That is a variation of Ernest Eric's bow to stern. So in the video, I just went on a journey and researched all these variations and stuff, and it led me back to the basics. I wanted to get back to the book and learn the original bow to stern, and what started this whole thing off was a small footnote by the author that talked about a few predecessors of bow to stern. One of them I just mentioned in passing, the first to ever come up with this card bowing principle, Marlowe, right? Because everything, Marlowe. But what really tweaked my interest was the second item mentioned in this footnote, crediting Allan Ackerman as a way of using the card bowing principle to control the card to the bottom. And this basically blew my mind because I could only ever fathom bow to stern being a top control, right? Where you do this and it's switched out and it ends up on top. I could not figure out for the life of me how Mr. Ackerman got the card to the bottom. I just had no clue, and so I sought to search this out. So I searched far and wide. I could not find the book, Here's My Card, anywhere. It's as if it just disappeared, vanished from the face of the earth, as if it never really existed. Forums, eBay, could not find it anywhere. And what did I do next? Well, I reached out to Allan Ackerman himself. I said, hey, you got this move that I'm really interested in. Can't find the book anywhere. Man, it'd be great if I could see this in some type of effect. And he agreed to do that. And after some weeks and weeks and some time and some times waiting, he got around to it. Called the 76 sandwich. He posted it. I mentioned it in the last video. Maybe some of you already checked it out. And so I watched his video, and that is where we are today. Ackerman's 76 sandwich is a brilliant effect, and as I watched the effect, I left a comment immediately and was like, Mr. Ackerman, this is great. Wow, fabulous. I love it. And I watched it again because I'm looking for the move, right? And I watched it a second time, and I didn't see it. And I actually began to read in the comments of the video, and he pinned a comment of his own where he talked about actually using a variation for one of the moves. So he actually didn't do the move that I had been asking for. I didn't see it. I thought, well, it's been a while, several weeks since, he got around to doing it. Totally glad that he did. Forever grateful. But I got to thinking maybe he thought that I was more interested in seeing the effect, which is great. It's a great effect. More so than the actual card move. Maybe it got twisted. I'm not sure. But here's the thing. He didn't do the move. I did not see it. He didn't do the move. Or did he? How would I know what to look for? My only frame of reference was this small footnote in By Forces Unseen. I have no idea what I'm looking for, and here's the thing, all good card moves supposed to look like nothing is happening, which is kind of what bow to stern accomplishes. And I begin to reflect back on the footnote itself and the title of the name of this move. The very thing that Mr. Ackerman chose to name this move. A new convincing control. And I then asked myself, what does a convincing control look like? It's basically like a spread call, isn't it? Right? Where a card is kind of switched out. I'll just do a quick makeshift convincing control. I'm not very good at spread calls and stuff, but it looks something similar to that, right? And you control it to the bottom. And I realized in 76 Sandwich, Mr. Ackerman's upload, he did that very thing. So here's the thing. Did he just do a convincing control or like a spread call, which was kind of what I was thinking when I originally watched it? Or was this somehow this bow to stern type bottom control, right? I had no idea. So I realized what I had to do. I had to get this book, no questions asked. I had to see this for myself. The effect was great for Mr. Ackerman, forever grateful. I have to see this for myself. I have to get the book. The problem is, I already tried, couldn't find it. That did not deter me. I searched, and I finally found, or should I say ascertained, a copy of Here's My Card from Allan Ackerman with this mysterious, almost elusive move. I obtained a digital copy of Here's My Card. I looked through the book and I found Allan Ackerman's new convincing control right here. It's on a couple pages. I'm going to let you take a good long look at it. But it actually is a really beautiful move, and it does, in a way, kind of mimic a convincing control. You know, if you didn't know any better, like I did, you might mistake it for just that. Or if you're a layperson, you might not even realize anything is happening at all. And to be honest, this is a tough move. I mean, for crying out loud, think of bow to stern or seamless control. Those are tough moves. Takes a while to learn. But to the best of my ability, I'm going to try to show you this bottom control. What's essentially happening is you're taking a spectator selection and it's being shifted to the bottom, but you're using your fingers to bow this card upwards. Now, I do this very poorly, right? So you're giving the visual that it's still in the middle, where it's just on the bottom and it's being bowed upward. But you're essentially, just like that. And you're using, I think he uses the finger on his right hand to just keep that card bowed as everything kind of comes together. Push it in, and it's actually on the bottom. And that, my friends, is the move that I sought so long to figure out. This is Allan Ackerman's new convincing control, and it really is a move that merits some attention, some time. So there you have it, right? Case solved. The mystery, case closed. We found the missing Sleight, so to say. But that's not the end of the story just yet. I actually discovered a secondary method of controlling the card to the bottom via one of these principles from bow to stern. Not the card bowing principle. There's actually two principles used in from bow to stern. A, there's the card bowing principle. That should have actually probably been B, because the first one, or rather A, is actually a block moving principle where you're shifting an entire block of cards. How did I discover it? Well, I began to reflect back on Chris Ramsey's seamless video, right? Just like some sinus phlegm that you just can't quite get rid of, right? I'm kidding, I love you, Ramsey. Don't worry, he's never gonna watch this. One could only hope, my friend. So here's the deal. Well, let's actually hear it from the horse's mouth himself.
There are a lot of similar handlings to this particular move. Chris Mayhew had one using the plunger principle. Also, I know that Biz Christian had something similar where he would control it either to the top or the bottom.
It's been in plain sight the whole time. All these years, I've been watching this over and over and all these things. And wow, Ramsey mentioned I didn't need by forces unseen to tell me there's a way to control it to the bottom. Ramsey's saying it right here for millions of people to see. Biz has a way to do this, but yeah, controlling it to the bottom. My friends, let's actually check out Biz's blind square, the bottom control. I reached out to Biz personally and I asked him for permission, his blessing, to discuss this move, to go over it. He gave me his full blessing. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you blind square bottom control. There you have it. This is a beautiful move. It could be argued that this is the superior way of controlling the card to the bottom via one of the two principles used in bow to stern. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So what Biz is doing, I do mine just a little bit differently, but essentially, like I said, you're moving this block. It's a block moving principle, right? So as you're dragging the top packet back, above the selection, you're taking your index and you're kicking this bottom block back. So I'm kicking it back, and I'm kicking it back enough. Now Biz actually grabs this with his thumb, and you pull it until this card clears, and you just push it in like that, right? You push everything together. I ran into a bit of an issue doing that, so I like to use my rock and roll fingers. That's kind of cheesy, but yeah, I just use pinky and my index, and as I come back so far as I'm raking these cards back, I'll come on the sides, kicking the cards back, and I'll grab this with pinky and index just so I can, right, until that card is released, push it in, right, push everything flush. It's such a clean move, man. This is such a great thing, man. Biz, we are forever indebted to you, right? And that, my friends, is blind square bottom control. Discovering two very unique, super unique ways of controlling the card to the bottom. One from the famous, world-renowned Allan Ackerman, and a second one from underground legend. I would argue just probably a regular legend at this point, right? Biz, right? Bizal Christian. Two unique ways of using one of two principles from the bow to stern card control. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed both of them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate all your support, all the love. Thank you for sticking with me through this card sleight mystery. We did crack the case. Not only did we discover one bottom control, my friends, but two. So, without further ado, why am I saying without further ado? This is the end of the video. I'll let you get to it. Have a great weekend. Jorge Anito here, signing off. Be blessed.